Hi there. My name is Oscar Felix. I serve as the Associate Vice President for Enrollment and Access and also as Associate Vice President in the Office of the Vice President for Diversity. So it's a long title, a lot of responsibility. I also serve as Executive Director for the Access Center, and those are programs that do outreach to high school students in northern Colorado to help them get to college. For students who typically don't see themselves as college bound. So I am a graduate of the Student Affairs and Higher Education program at Colorado State, and very proud of that fact. And coming from that tradition, I always feel that it's very important to be aware of what the institution should be doing for students on campus. Latest trend is that we want more international students. We want them to be here, we want them to be successful, we want them to be part of our traditions. So what do we do as student affairs practitioners? To me, it is a fundamental obligation for us to prepare not only ourselves, but future practitioners in how to work effectively with international students. And you really can't do that if you're just hanging around your town. If you're just, for example, in Fort Collins all the time, you're not going to grow a whole lot. You're not going to learn. So you need to get out of town, literally get out of town and go see the world and experience the world in every shape and form, from the good to the bad, so that you get a sense of how, when the students come to us, how they feel about being in a new place, how isolating it can be if you can't find a certain room or a certain office. You need to go through all that, all the good and all the suffering, so then you can then be a better practitioner and then be able to do that on your own campus to provide those services. I think it's also critical that we grow as professionals, and we typically can do that by seeing other parts of the world in ways that are new and fresh. When here at Colorado State University, we have students from China, and they love our town. They love our university, but they don't like our food. So one might say, how can they not love our food? We have the best pizza in town. They should just get used to eating pizza. Now, how can we be more empathetic about that? Well, we recently took a group of SAHE students, the Student Affairs students in their graduate program, on a trip to China, where we really got to know all the variety of the food that they have. And literally every meal was 10 to 12, sometimes even 18 courses of the most delicious food. So being exposed to that, coming back to our town and seeing the limited choices, you really can empathize as to why they hate our food, because they're not used to it. It's very limited, and it's just not what they're used to. So we learn firsthand how important it is not to dismiss that they don't like our food. So now that we're wanting to come here, how do we accommodate for that? How do we make it so that they're able to find more of the food that they like? Another example, if we as a university want to welcome more students from, for example, Arabic countries, Muslim countries, and we know that in their religion they have to pray several times a day. And one might think, well, they can do that on their own, or they can find a place. It's not until you go to a Muslim country that you really see how deeply embedded it is in their everyday life. And if you go to the mall, if you go almost anywhere, there are prayer rooms. It is really built into their everyday life. How then we build that into our infrastructure so that we can honor their traditions and so that they can find that level of success at the university? One way to do it is, at the student centers, is we can have meditation rooms. So there are multiple use rooms, but our Muslim students can use them for their daily prayers. And yet, it can be used for other things. So there are ways that we can find success in various ways, not just that we have to build a whole infrastructure to accommodate international students, but there are ways that are practical but yet serve the students that we are hoping to attract. When I think about my own children, and I'm thinking if they go to another place, they go to anywhere in the world, I would hope that those universities in the other side of the world, or even across the border, take into account their needs and what they would bring. And so it's that sort of give and take. And it's not until we get out of our comfort zone, it's not until we go through the world that we can truly see why that matters to them and why it should matter to us, especially if we're hoping to attract more and more international students. So I think you know that there's no undergraduate degree in student affairs. So we all come to the profession with different degrees. Mine happened to be international relations. And I was really in love with the profession, with the future of being a diplomat. Well, life took me in another direction, and I was at Colorado State University for about probably 18 to 20 years before my degree really came into full use. So I was teaching in the Student Affairs program and realized, gee, we are talking about helping our students be more internationally aware, and yet there is absolutely nothing that we're offering them to be able to fully explore that in a way that is substantial. So I decided to take a little risk and start taking the students on little trips. All right, let's get out of town. Let's go out and explore. So our first one was not very far away. In fact, it was within the U.S. We took them to New Mexico. So, but it got us used to doing things outside our town. So the next year we were a little bit more ambitious and we went to Vancouver, Canada. Now you would think that just Canada would be too much like the U.S. However, there are distinct differences in higher education and how that is delivered and how the students find success. So to our students, even going across the border to Canada was a real experience. After that, we went to Toronto, another experience for our students to know higher education in that part of Canada. And then the following year, through connections that we made from students who graduated from our program, we were able to go all the way to the Arabian Gulf, to the nation of Qatar. And that was a major, huge step. In fact, the students, their families, when they told their families that we might go to the Middle East, a lot of apprehension, a lot of fear, that in the end proved to be so off base, because Qatar and the capital city, Doha, is just about the safest city that we've been to. And it was amazing to us when we were there, thinking, we can't believe that just 6 months ago, our families, the program, even ourselves, were apprehensive about being here, and yet we're finding ourselves in the safest place that we can be at. Culturally, religiously, and in any other shape and form, the students were truly transformed in their beliefs from what they thought they knew about women and religion, what they thought about the higher education aspects of it, to even energy. For example, we learned that in Qatar, their energy supply is not unlimited. They're going to be running out in about 15 years. So right now, they're preparing to switch from a carbon-based economy to an education-based economy, to a service-based economy. And to see their commitment to education, to culture, was really truly eye-opening for our students and for the staff. For us to go to the Student Center at Education City, Hamad bin Khalifa University, and to see how they integrate the prayer rooms into their Student Center in a way that is architecturally just beautiful. And then to bring that back to our own campus so that we can do similar things, so that we can help our Muslim students here find success. So that was truly an eye-opening experience. The students will never forget that. The next year we went to China, and now another life-changing experience. And here at our university, at Colorado State University, we are hoping to attract more and more students from China just like everyone else in the world is trying to get this huge piece of what they see as a lot of opportunity. Now, again, if we are indeed making a commitment to have more students from China, what are we doing as an institution to prepare for that, to provide the services that they expect? Because their parents, and as you may know, China has a one-child policy. So to those parents, they're sending their only child with all the hopes and dreams about the future success of that family to us here in the United States. And what are we doing to make sure that they find success? It was really eye-opening for this group of student affairs folks to go to China, get a lot of culture, get a lot of what we know works over there, so that we can bring it back, and for us to be better practitioners, for us to be more honest and genuine in the promises that we make to those families that their son and daughter will find success at Colorado State. I feel that by going over there, we can bring back a lot of those elements that will help us live up to that promise. So when you think about studying abroad, going to another country, it is what it looks like to be. It is fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work too. And you have to be in a place where you allow yourself to experience difference. And there'll be a lot of awkward moments. There'll be a lot of human connection moments. But if you don't do that, then I think you're cheating yourself out of something really special. Not only something special, but something necessary. Because if you want to be a really good practitioner in student affairs, you need to put yourself in a vulnerable place, in a place of growth. And there's nothing that traveling outside the U.S., there's nothing that can substitute that. It also opens you up to be more human, because once you know how lonely it can be, or how hard it can be to navigate another place in the world, then you can bring that back and say, hey, what can we do here to help our students do better, to be more integrated? I have been very fortunate to do quite a bit of travel, and so after a while, it sort of becomes second nature. But it also has allowed me to take a lot of students who haven't done it, and that's a lot of fun because you get to experience it for the first time along with them. So I encourage you to do that. And if you don't have your passport, go to Walgreens right now, get your passport picture, and apply for your passport. That's the first step. Second step is, what do you feel that you are in need of? Is it you need to know another language? Do you feel like you need to know students from a certain part of the world? Explore that. Explore that. And money can be an obstacle, but there are ways to have the school help you pay for it. So don't let that stop you. And lastly, I want to tell you that the way that our profession is evolving is to be more open to all cultures. I know there's a lot of lip service to that, but it's truly becoming that. And to the extent that you, as a professional, put yourself in a place where you can truly say, I know how to help students from other places. I know what it's like. I've been to other places in the world. The more you can do that, the better it'll help you as a future professional to do the things that we profess to want to do for our students in a way that is meaningful. And again, travel is a lot of fun. So I recommend it. Get your passport, and I'll see you at the airport.